They found the tape recorder still running in the basement, not plugged in, not even holding batteries. And on the tape, you can hear a man whispering a name he shouldn't know, a name that wasn't written anywhere in the building. So here's the question. If a place remembers what happened inside it, can it learn your name too? Stay with me, because by the end you'll understand why some abandoned places don't just feel haunted. They feel informed. This story is called Abandoned Places with Dark Histories, the Stories Left Behind. It's history-first horror. Not a ghost jumped out. It's the human tragedy, the rumors, and the moment the public decided a location had crossed a line. Tonight, we're going to walk through one place, one night, one turning point, and one worst moment people still won't describe properly. And I'll tell you what it cost the last person who tried to document it. One rule, though. If you've ever explored abandoned buildings, don't do what they did at the end. The place was an old convalescent home on the edge of a small town, built for recovery. It ended up being used for containment. Locals called it Greywick House. Officially, it had a different name, but nobody used it anymore. Because saying Greywick felt like saying, don't go there. 3 people went in after midnight. A small YouTube crew, not thrill seekers, history obsessives. The kind who read archives for fun. They had a reason. A fire, decades earlier, that never made sense. A locked wing, missing patient records, and a rumor that the basement wasn't a basement. It was a place you were taken when you stopped being recoverable. The first whisper happened before they even got inside. Not a voice. A word, pressed into the air like breath on cold glass. Returned. They laughed it off, but the front doors, chained shut, were already open by a few inches. They entered through the gap, and the air changed instantly. Not colder, older, like the building was still exhaling smoke from a fire that happened years ago. Upstairs, the rooms were stripped, beds gone, curtains torn down. But the walls still had shapes where things used to be, like stains in the paint. Then they found the first thing that didn't fit. A fresh plastic chair in the middle of a corridor. Modern. Clean. Like someone had placed it there 5 minutes ago. Under the chair was a cardboard box. And on the box, in thick black stamp ink, 2 words. Returned. Received. They didn't touch it at first. They circled it like it might bite. And then the camera operator did something small and stupid. He zoomed in. Because the stamp wasn't the only writing. Someone had added a name underneath. A name none of them had said out loud. The presenter swallowed and tried to keep his voice calm. He said, That's not funny. And from somewhere below them, deep in the building, something answered. Not a voice. A slow, dragging scrape. Like a chair being pulled across concrete. They looked at the stairwell door. It was labelled basement in faded paint, and the handle was moving, just slightly, as if someone on the other side was testing it. They didn't run. They should have. They opened it, and the smell that came out wasn't mold. It was smoke. The basement stairs were narrow, and the walls sweated. Their lights didn't reach the bottom properly. It felt like the darkness was absorbing the beam. Halfway down, they saw the tape recorder, sitting on a concrete step like it had been left for them. Old cassette, dusty. But the little red light was on. No cable, no batteries. The presenter crouched, close enough to see the tape spools turning. And then he heard it. Not through the recorder. In the room itself. A whisper right behind his ear saying a name. His name. He froze. And the camera caught something worse than a shadow. In the far corner of the basement, there was a doorway that wasn't on the floor plan. A clean rectangle cut into old brick. Too neat. Too deliberate. The presenter did what people always do when they're trying to prove they're brave. He spoke to the dark like it was a person. He said quietly, "What do you want?" And the tape recorder answered. It played back a sentence in his own voice, a sentence he hadn't said yet. Here's what we know so far. A sealed building, a stamped box, a recorder with no power, and a place that knows names. So let me ask you something, softly. If you were standing there, would you walk through that doorway? They did, and the air on the other side was warmer, like a room with people in it. But it was empty, just rows of metal filing cabinets, hundreds of them, all labelled with dates, and every drawer they pulled open was full of ash. Then the presenter found one drawer that wasn't ash. It held a single file folder, newer than everything else, stamped with the same words: returned, received. Inside was one page, a form, with his name typed at the top, and at the bottom a checkbox ticked in pen, discharged. Behind them, the tape recorder clicked, like it had reached the end of the cassette. And then, from the stairwell, came the sound of the chair scraping again. Closer this time. Slow, patient, as if something was taking its seat. They left, not sprinting, not screaming, just moving fast enough to pretend they were still in control. Outside, the chain on the front doors was back in place, looped tight, as if the building had never been open at all. They uploaded the video the next day, but the basement audio was gone, not corrupted, cleanly removed, like it had been cut out with scissors. And the presenter, he stopped making content. No goodbye video, no explanation. My verdict: Greywick House isn't haunted in the way people like to imagine. It behaves like a system, a place built to process people, to file them away. And what still doesn't feel right is the stamp: returned, received. Returned from where? Received by who? Because that opening question still stands. If a place remembers what happened inside it, can it learn your name too? And if it can, what does it do with it once it has it? One question for you in the comments. What do you think returned, received actually means? Was it a message, a warning, or a process? If you want more history-first horror like this, subscribe. And if you've got an abandoned place with a story people avoid telling, drop it below.